Hey, what it do, y'all? What it do? What it do? This is kind of very much off the beaten path topic, but I had to talk about it, so just had a few conversations, and it just kind of made me think about some things. Well, this conversation is definitely for the next generation, especially you all that are uh, about to, you know, go to prom, things like that in the next few months. For those that are going to homecoming, I'm mainly talking about the seniors, you know, in high school. But even those in college, because yeah, they got homecoming and prom. Even in college, it's a little different. But and even if you just looked back on your homecoming and prom, just looking back, I think you'll like this video a lot. So yeah, just stay tuned and get at me. Let me know if you yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. So let's talk. Well, apparently, like when I was coming up, I actually, I had my prom date. Shout out to her. So at the time, I had my prom date, and there was this idea that I match her color dress. At the time, to be honest, I wasn't even trying to match anything. I just was trying to find something nice to wear, but I couldn't find the right color that I wanted in my size. So I guess I was like, yeah, ironically, the only thing that was available in my size was a color shirt that matched her color dress. So I said, oh, we'll just go that route then. But it brought up an interesting point because I was talking to some people about this, and apparently there's this unwritten rule, which is a taboo. Like back in my day coming up, the early 2000s, it wasn't really the unspoken rule then, it was just a taboo. But now it is definitely the unspoken rule that, yeah, the guy that's going to the prom or homecoming, you need to match your colors with your prom date's colors. And if you try to switch that around, she'll be trying to make it seem like the guy is a lesbian or he's gay, if you will, because which that's to me that's slander. You don't do that to the rainbow community, but nevertheless, apparently he's a little suspect if he tries to tell her she needs to match the color of his outfit. So I want y'all to see where I'm going with this, because this actually sets the tone for where a lot of these feminine end up being as they get older. If she's used to a certain entitlement or used to a certain thing a guy is supposed to do, even at that young of an age, all these unspoken rules, she tends to think that guys are supposed to do a lot of things. Once again, supposed to do a lot of things, not merely the fact that he did it just because he wanted to do something to make her smile. Like if she already has this entitlement of what he is supposed to do, especially when it comes to matching her with colors at a prom or homecoming, what does that say about her mentality as she gets older? That never changes. It doesn't change for quite some time, if I could just say that at least. Because, yeah, I mean, there's this certain entitlement, like, you know, I was talking to someone recently and they were like, yeah, my mom rejected a guy. Well, she just canceled him being my prom date because apparently he was just trying to dictate what colors I need to wear for the homecoming or prom. And I'm just like, yeah, well, how you think he felt? Felt like terms were being dictated to him as far as the colors he needed to wear for her. Nobody wants to talk about that, but then I guess their alleged rebuttal came because they were like, well, I'm a girl, I'm a female. He's supposed to do that. That's what men's supposed to do. You're supposed to match the woman. You're just an accessory. Like, I'm going to be center stage. When they take pictures, they're looking at my dress. They're not looking at your outfit. They're looking at me. They're not looking at you. I was like, wow. So that opened my eyes up. So I'm glad it wasn't like that for me when I was doing prom or homecoming. It was just more like, hey, I couldn't find a proper color shirt. I wanted it in my size, so the one that was in my size just happened to be the color of her dress. So I just kind of kept going from there. So I think when it's all said and done, when we doing things like this, whether dressing up, matching clothes, whatever the event is, we just doing that because we want to do that for each other, like out the goodness of our heart. It shouldn't be based on any taboo or any unspoken rule. It shouldn't be like that. But, Yeah, a lot of this stuff is. So you mean to tell me, excuse me, that with all the stuff a guy is supposed to do is implemented as far back as even high school when it comes to the prom dates and the homecoming dates. You know, even what they try to talk about chivalry. See, I'm gonna have to talk to a lot of young ones now in regards to how things go these days when it comes to their prom dates and homecomings. Because, yeah, that all that we talk about nowadays, even on social media, as far as these uh, dysfunctional relationships, a lot of it can be traced back to what took place at a prom or a homecoming. It could even be taken, go back to even how one's Valentine's Day was at high school. Because, you know, oh, and this brings up one more thing I want to talk about. Some gals told me that they went to high schools where allegedly the gender roles were reversed, if that's a thing or such a thing, right? But apparently the gender roles were reversed at this high school in regards to the gals had to ask the guy out on a prom date or homecoming date, and she had to work on getting his outfit together versus it being the other way around. And I was just like, actually, it was never the other way around because she wanted to say so on the outfit. So it was never his choice to begin with. So I just find that interesting. And so, hey, that's the unspoken rule. That's the taboo. And I think it just kind of wiggles its way through every other spectrum and aspect of society, especially when a lot of these high school students have to go out into the real world once they graduate. And you realize some of that chivalry stuff, some of that stuff you thought you were doing to be nice to someone, you know, for homecomings and proms and high school bands and all that stuff you trying to do to win the gal over. She didn't feel no type of way about it because she felt that you were supposed to do that anyway. And what really turns her on is not the chivalry that you did. I know that's a very hard pill to swallow. But a lot of times, with a lot of young guys out here, all that stuff you're doing in high school, whatever, even rolling into college, all that chivalry stuff ain't what turns her on. Because she felt that you were supposed to do that. Now, I say that to say this. Yeah, that doesn't mean you stop doing those things. Don't buy into all this other content that makes it seem like you gotta be toxic or some a-hole as a result. No, you still do those nice things. You just realize since she feels that you're supposed to do that, you don't do those things for her. She's asking for a slave. She's not asking for a man, a real companion. She just wants a partner. Remember, they now saying partner nowadays. But yeah, any chick that tells a guy, and this is like I said, beyond the high school and the prom dates, you know, that was the incubation period of all this simping and all this other stuff that's going on to a certain extent, right? But if she starts coming off talking about what a man is supposed to do, that's the girl that you don't do anything for. So, yeah. Yeah, you don't want a gal that, you know, fellas, you don't want a gal talking about what you're supposed to do. Nah, I ain't got to do nothing for you. You only going to get around a gal that appreciate the things that you do for her. So even when it comes to you matching her dress and all that with the colors, you're doing that because you wanted to do that, not because you were supposed to do that. Thanks a million.